On the World News tonight, Academic Staff Union of Universities decries a level of endemic corruption at all levels of government. 115 Nigerians trafficked to Ivory Coast return to shores safely. Plus, UBEC advocates for digital facilities in Nigeria's public schools. Good to have you join us on the World News tonight. My name is Ibigoni Kalio. Do you love and care about River State and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. You can subscribe and click the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. Sole Administrator of the Eleme Local Government Council, Dr. Gloria Obo Dibaya, has called on those living and doing business in the area to imbibe hygienic cultures in order to engender healthy living in a serene environment. She made a call while leading principal officers of the council to a dump site at One, where the council is evacuating the refuse. Gaspar Anele tells us more.
Dr. Obo Dibia explained scientifically that the odor from the waste dump are very hazardous to humans as it affects the atmosphere, underground water, and the environment negatively. She noted that there is need for sensitization against the indiscriminate dumping of refuse within the environment that will last days and years, but suggested that many dump sites could be created for people that will be evacuated before morning to avoid pungent smells and infections. The Eleme Sole Administrator revealed that the vision of the State Sole Administrator, Vice Admiral Ebok Ete Ebas retired, centered on sanitation, peace advocacy, and security, which she is carrying out the policy to the grassroots for healthy living. She, however, noted that waste can be raw materials for other meaningful products through a recycle mechanism, and advised the people to also plant trees to beautify the area and to enjoy free flow of gaseous exchange between man and plants.
It's been here for quite a while, and this is very hazardous. It has health implications. People called and we listened, and we're here. And you can see the trucks are out there, the tractors, the payloaders, and all of that, and the job is being done already. Not just pushed down somewhere, but completely moved from here. But I think the awareness needs to be raised so that people know that everything is not trash. Wealth can actually be created out of here. The vision for this administration when it concerns sanitation and cleanliness is a green element. Everywhere is kept clean so that the environment can thrive.
Dr. Obo Dibia assured her people of a purposeful and exemplary leadership style by setting up a template for a better element within her administration. She disclosed that her administration intervenes quickly on the basic needs of the people, adding that she acted urgently when she received information about the negative influence of the One dump site in order to improve their lives and businesses. Dr. Obo Dibia also noted that her administration is determined to partner organizations with core values to meet the yearnings and aspirations of the people, while calling on the multinational companies operating in the area to assist, as government cannot do it all.
I think there is, and we're also working out different ways and means and other places where we can have smaller dump sites so that we don't have one massive dump site like this. A whole lot of companies here, we might have to seek their help to get involved, some kind of partnership for the green element that we're talking about. If it is training, if it is, different things they can do, if it is even helping part of the financing, because, the local government cannot do it all. And leaving a template, which I believe that the next person coming when I leave office will be able to follow to know the things to do. But we're working on the kind of template that we know will work.
Community leaders, including Chief Blessing Okazi and traders, expressed their observations.
Even in the morning when I was going to Port Harcourt at Alode, I met them doing the same job. Madam, I want to appreciate you. I want to say big thanks to you and your team.
Before dustbin they reach all this place, mango everywhere. We know they food, and now where we they sell food items everywhere. So people know they need buy something with us.
Pray that God will continue to bless her. We are so happy. Our prayers for her is that she will never lack, and the Lord will continue to provide for her.
God's power, Anele, Rstv News.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities ASU has expressed worry over the high wave of institutional weaknesses, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and endemic grant corruption in the country, which has continued to undermine governance at all levels. It also lamented the lack of inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability, as well as unaddressed existential conditions brought about by uncritical adoption of new liberal economic policies, and noting that it has bred apathy, cynicism, self-help, criminality, and exits, also called JAPA, especially among the youth. ASU National President Professor Emmanuel Osobeke made the remarks at the ongoing 23rd National Delegates Conference of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, held in the main campus of the University of Benin in Ogbowo, Benin City. He said although there are flashes of reform-minded leaders and active civil society actors, the connection between government policies and the realities of the common Nigerian remains disturbingly problematic, but citizens feel increasingly alienated from the unfeeling, non-responsive, and exploitative political system. Osobeke said Nigeria remains a paradox of abundance with monumental poverty in the midst of abundance, noting that attempts at economic diversification, particularly in technology and agriculture, show promises but require bold as well as long-term commitment and infrastructure development. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced the repatriation of 115 Nigerians nationals from Abidjan, Ivory Coast. The ministry's spokesperson, Kimiebi Ibn Faa, made this known in a statement issued on Saturday in Abuja. According to the statement, the ministry noted that the returnees will arrive Lagos by special flight at 3 p.m. Nigerian time at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Recall that the airport chairman of the Air Peace Group, Alan Onyema, had promised to bring back underage girls trafficked to Ivory Coast free of charge, and expressed a deep concern and condemnation over the recent discovery of Nigerian underage girls trafficked into Ivory Coast. The Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, is pushing for better technology access in public schools to prepare Nigerian children for global opportunities. UBEC Executive Secretary Aisha Garba announced that this at the International Conference on Smart Education and Digital Literacy in Abuja, themed Empowering African Smart Education Through Emerging Technologies. The conference, attended by participants from Africa and beyond, aims to foster idea exchange on leveraging technology to enhance teaching and learning. Garba revealed that UBEC has partnered with the Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, to shift from hardware-heavy infrastructure to smart systems, capitalizing on technological advancements and improved internet access. KOICA Country Director Mr. Kim Yoon-sub affirmed Korea's commitment to supporting Nigeria's education system, particularly in mathematics and the sciences. Break is next. Just before we do that, do you love and care about Rivers State and our peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. Up ahead, series of attacks on Port Sudan leaves citizens reeling in hardships. And in sports, China blames visa processing timelines for absence of Nigerian athletes in Guangzhou outing. Details of this and more, the flip side of the bulletin. Stay with us.
Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They available for seasoning cube. Try them today. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube don't land with all your rich spices where you love inside one cube. Mr. Chef Mixed Spices Seasoning Cube. Spice mix exactly the way you like them. They available for seasoning cube. Try them today.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Good to have you join us again. Now, Nigeria has concluded plans to host global leaders to discuss issues of migration and how it affects countries under the membership of the Euro-African Dialogue on Migration and Development, popularly known as the Rabat process. The meeting will be the first thematic dialogue under Nigeria's chairmanship, which is being co-chaired by Nigeria and the Kingdom of Spain and is focusing on youth education and innovation. The meeting, which comes on the 13th and 14th of this month, is expected to feature discussions that will guide the policy direction, shape cooperative efforts among the countries of origin, transit, and destination, explore inclusive policies, stronger cooperation, and sustained dialogue that can reshape migration positively. Revealing this on Friday in Abuja, the Federal Commissioner of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Tijani Ahmed, said that more than 100 delegates from 57 member countries of the Inter-Regional Forum for Europe and Africa are expected to be in Nigeria for the high-level meeting themed Youth Innovation and Education, driving the future of migration. He noted the importance of the diaspora community, knowledge transfer, investment, remittances, and added that young migrants contribute meaningfully to their home countries, bringing innovations across borders. A massive increase in the price of water is just one consequence of a week of aerial attacks on the Red Sea city of Port Sudan, once seen as relatively safe haven from Sudan's devastating civil war. Port Sudan is now reeling from days of bombardment from the Rapid Support Force (RSF) paramilitary group. After 6 days of drone attacks, the smoke is still rising from 3 fuel depots which were targeted. Rescue teams are gathered around the destroyed sites, but they are struggling to put the fires out. The conflict, which began as a struggle between the leaders of the RSF and the army more than 2 years ago, has created one of the world's worst humanitarian crises and forced more than 12 million people from their homes. Water is not the only challenge in Port Sudan. European unions have urged Russia to agree to an unconditional 30-day ceasefire with Ukraine starting on Monday. The call was issued at a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing in Kiev. Leaders of France, Germany, the UK, and Poland were hosted by Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky, while others joined remotely. They made the announcement after discussing the plan by phone with US President Donald Trump, who initially mooted an unconditional ceasefire, and the leaders threatened Russia with massive sanctions if it does not comply. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer said the aim of the coalition of willing was to show that aggression will never prevail on their continent. He was speaking alongside Zelensky, French President Emmanuel Macron, Polish PM Donald Tusk, and the new German Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Russia has so far insisted that before considering a ceasefire, the West must first halt its military aid to Ukraine. To sports now we go, where the Chinese ambassador in Nigeria on Saturday responded to reports concerning the withdrawal of Nigeria athletes from the 2025 World Athletics Relay in Guangzhou, China, attributing the development to a misunderstanding over visa processing timelines. According to the report, the Athletics Federation of Nigeria had cited visa delays by Chinese authorities as a reason for the team's withdrawal from the competition scheduled to hold between 10 and 11 May 2025. In a statement issued in Abuja, the Chinese embassy expressed regrets over the athletes' absence, but maintained that it had acted promptly and efficiently upon receiving a request for assistance from the Nigerian National Sports Commission. The embassy emphasized its continued commitment to fostering bilateral cooperation in sports and people-to-people exchanges. It noted that visa processing is subject to national sovereignty and requires a proper documentation and reasonable time frames consistent with international standards. While expressing disappointment over the athletes' non-participation, the embassy described the AFN's claims as inconsistent with the facts and reiterated its willingness to support future sports collaboration between China and Nigeria. Do you love and care about River State and her peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. It's a task we must accomplish. This is where the news comes to an end, but just before I step aside, the Academic Staff Union of Universities also has expressed worry over the high wave of institutional weaknesses, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and endemic grand corruption in the country, which has continued to undermine governance at all levels. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has announced the repatriation of 115 Nigerian nationals from Abidjan, Ivory Coast, expressing deep concern and condemnation over the recent discovery of Nigerian underage girls trafficked to the Ivory Coast. We had also informed you that the Universal Basic Education Commission (UBEC) is pushing for better technology access in public schools to prepare Nigerian children for global opportunities, which aims to foster ideal exchange of leveraging technology to exchange teaching and learning. That's how we capture the world and the lenses of Double Two. Thank you for your time as well as your company. My name is Ibigoni Kalio. From all of us here in the studio, have a splendid evening.